Hey friends, welcome to Life Made Full. This podcast is centered around business, faith, and family, 3 areas that are dear to our heart. If you are a business owner in ministry, own a family business, or you have a family, join us today around our family table to discuss these topics and more. And are we live? Are we live?
We should be.
Welcome to Life Made Full. We apologize that we are, how many minutes late? I don't like being late. 14 minutes late. 2 reasons. We said we're always going to be transparent and real. Yes, we did have a hiccup with the technical side of it.
Slightly, yes, but
I walk
definitely
in,
not taking all the blame of that.
I walk in and he's stressing because streaming this, from what I'm gathering, you said what? It's like very expensive to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he managed to do it anyway. All right. But the other reason is because Chrissy had to have a Starbucks. Shout out to Starbucks, right? I never will understand the Starbucks. You know, now that we're talking about that, let's talk about that just really, really, really quick.
Yeah.
Because you said a couple months back we were at a wedding and you were saying I drink weak coffee. Do you remember that conversation?
You drink watered down Folgers.
No, I do not. Here's what I was thinking. I don't drink bougie coffee. That's what it is. I drink the real coffee. Folgers.
I don't think it's real. I don't
It
think
is.
that makes it real coffee.
I don't drink the bougie coffee. I'm not bougie. They always say I'm bougie. I'm not bougie. They say I am. I'm not
You're
bougie. I'm not bougie.
I'm not. Starbucks is the one thing that I probably.
Starbucks. Yeah, but Starbucks, I don't know.
All
it's
right.
not even.
It's becoming more of a casual. It's not even.
Personally, honestly, I don't like Starbucks coffee.
Pretty much any local coffee house is better than Starbucks.
Well, I don't know. I was going to say that might be true, but I don't know. I'm pretty hooked on Starbucks right now.
Okay. All right.
You'll use coffee filters. How many times?
No.
What do
We
you
will
do?
not even go.
You wanted to talk about the coffee.
Oh gosh, we won't even go there. All right, so we are streaming. This is obviously our podcast, but we're streaming live on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how that works, how that connection works, but are you going to pull that up? I
have
do
it up.
know I got some messages saying, am I missing it? Because they wanted to ask some questions. Hopefully they find it. Are you streaming on Life Made Full?
Yep.
That might be the problem. Ooh, they might have thought that they were streaming live from my Facebook. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you probably should have.
Been more clear?
Yeah.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Why don't you go and share it on your page?
I don't know how to do that. You want to do it? There you go. You can take over. All right. Merry Christmas. So we are 2 days away from Christmas. How many's ready? How many's not ready? I can say that I'm not ready. Now we did. So let's I'm going to start it out with something funny. Break the ice a little bit. Start something funny why he's doing this. And don't lose that text.
374 text messages unchecked.
Probably have her
Oh
feed.
my gosh.
374. I know. I'm bad for my text.
236.
I'm bad for that. All right. So we just got back from Disney.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years back, Doug and I decided that instead of buying gifts just for the sake of buying gifts, because what the grandkids, they have everything they need, everything they want pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So Doug and I decided instead of buying gifts, we are going to start giving the gift of memories. That's how we kind of summed it up. We're going to give the gift of memories. So this year we surprised everyone with a trip to Disney. Well, I say surprise the grandkids. You're the one
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, sister. Go ahead. She planned everything
Yep.
and just come to me and said, okay, this is what I need. This is what I need. This is what I need.
Yep.
And I said, okay, here, we'll just tell you how it goes. Here's the credit card. Do what you got to do to make it happen. Here it is.
Yep.
So we surprised the grandkids with a trip to Disney, but Christy booked everything. I'll say that. All right, so let's talk about, I want to tell you all something funny, and then we're going to get into business. If you got any business questions, bring it to us. Today's the day. We're just going to kind of, I don't know, just kind of roll with the conversation. Does that sound good to you?
Of course, I'm always down for that.
Okay, let's just kind of roll with the conversation. All right, Chrissy, I need you to get that something pulled up. So I had just put in my story that I'm going to share something very funny, and I haven't told anyone this. Of course, it just happened a few days ago, but I haven't shared it with anyone, that any of the business owners that I speak to on a daily basis or anything like that. I haven't shared it, so y'all are going to be the first to hear this. So Doug and I left. Everyone flew out. Doug and I drove our RV. We wanted to take our time getting back. We left a few days early. Take our time getting there, and neither one of us really like to fly unless we have to. All right, so trip went great. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to say it. You might have to take over. So on our way home, we had stopped to get gas. So as we're proceeding to get off of the exit, we were having a little bit of difficulty with our generator, because normally I could just, make a cup of coffee, all the things just back there. So getting off the exit, I had told my husband, I said, great, you need to get gas. I'm going to run in. It was about, 8:30 in the morning, maybe something like that. I'm going to run in and get a cup of coffee. Since I can't fire up the generator, I'm going to go in there and get me a cup of coffee. So I just assumed, oh yeah, he heard me, all the things, right? So we pull up. He gets out to get gas. I go to the back of the RV and I said, hey, do you want anything while I'm going in here? He said, no. Okay. So pretty plain that I'm going into the gas station. Pretty plain that I'm going into this gas station. I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell it. I really don't know if I'm going to be able to tell it. And I really haven't even talked to you about it. I know you knew about it from Chrissy. Anyway, very long story short, go in to get my coffee. I start to walk out and I see Doug leaving the gas station. I see him leaving, and instantly I thought, oh, well, maybe he's just going to turn around, maybe something, with the RV driving it, maybe he needs to turn around. So, that was for a split second. And then I thought, okay, wait a second. He's not turning around. He's getting on the highway. And instantly I thought, oh my goodness, he thinks I'm in the back of the RV in the bathroom. He's thinking I'm in the bathroom. So I did have my purse, I had my purse strapped around me, but I didn't have my cell phone. I didn't take my cell phone in. So I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I don't have my cell phone. He's just left me at the gas station thinking I'm in the back in our bathroom, even though I told him I was going in. I told him twice I'm going in. And so I asked the lady, the kind clerk, if I could use her phone to call him, but I knew he probably wouldn't answer because it was a Florida. No, actually, we were in Georgia at that time. We were in Georgia. So it was a Georgia area code. He's not going to answer it. Scam. So he would just think it's a scam. So, yes, I called him twice. No answer. So I called Christy. I couldn't think of your phone number. Sorry, Douglas. I'm like, for real, sorry. Couldn't think of your number. I know it's 524, but I couldn't think of the rest of it. So, you, Christy. Mm-hmm. I call you. No answer. And so I used this gas station's landline. And finally, I asked the clerk, I said, may I use your cell phone to text my daughter to let her know that this is me calling? So you want to pick it up from there?
Well, you had called twice.
First time for everything, right?
Yeah, you had called twice. And so immediately I even thought, I was like, this is weird. Like, why is this Georgia number calling? Because usually, like, even if it is scam, they'll call, hang up, and then maybe call later, but it was like back to back. There was a phone call. So immediately, actually, that's what I thought. I was like, I guess I should call mom or dad, make sure they're all right. They're not trying to call me. So that's when I called your phone and you said it was in there. So dad must have answered it. And I was like, what are you guys doing? He said, driving. I was like, oh.
He answered my phone.
Yeah. He said, driving. I was like, oh. I said, well, where's mom at? And he said, she's back there doing something. And I was like, oh. I was like, all right. And then then instantly I was like, okay, like it's all good. Well, then that's when she got this text.
Please zoom in on this, Douglas, when you upload the podcast. Please zoom in on it.
So then I get a text right as he told me that she was in the back. And it says, Christy, tell your dad he left me at the gas station. I'm calling from their phone. So then I read that as I'm on the phone with my dad, and I read that and I said, I think you've left mom at the gas station. And he said, Christy, like, what are you talking about? No, I did not. He said, she's in the back there. And then I was like, I don't know. I was like, I just got a text. And then at that point you called again. My phone says like, hold on, I got to click over. And then I clicked over, and then that's when you said, tell your dad that he left me at the gas station. There was no laughing at this point about it.
There really was. Tell him he's left me at the gas station. So what did you, when you clicked back over, what did you say?
I said, you did leave her at the gas station. I just talked to her. And then he just was like, oh my gosh, or something. And then come to find out, he was at that point, finally, like when we figured it out, he had just passed the exit, I guess, like right when I had told him, and he thought you were still back there. So then he said 7 miles to the next exit. For him to even turn around.
He had went 15 miles one way, and then obviously 15 miles back. So it was about a half hour before he got back to me that he left me at the gas station. And so when I call her back, because at that point I knew I couldn't call him because he had his GPS up and I didn't want to knock his GPS off or anything like that. So I was talking to her. I was like, please call your dad to ask him what's taking him so long to get back here. Like, I'm not understanding. I'm standing in a gas station just drinking, just chilling. And so he did pull up. But long story short, it was so funny that at the beginning, it really wasn't funny, but it was funny afterwards. I laughed so hard for the sheer fact that I made it very plain that I was going in to get a cup of coffee. I made it very plain that I was, hey, would you like anything while I'm going in here? And he answered no. Well, come to find out, he said that when he was pumping the gas, it clicked that he said it clicked that you said you was going to make a cup of coffee. And I was thinking, how's she going to make a cup of coffee when the generator's not working right now? I'm like, so you're pumping gas and you have this bright light that goes off and says she can't make coffee, but it never clicked.
He just
said,
she'll figure it out.
That's what he said. She'll figure it out. So he got in, did not think another thing. Thought I was in the back.
Yeah, he said the curtain was closed and everything or something. You guys must have a curtain back there. So he thought that you were back there.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, well, when I got out, when I was heading in the back and I said, hey, would you like anything in here? And you replied, no. What did you think I said? And he said, I thought you said, hey, I'm going back here. Would you like anything while I'm
like where your fridge is and stuff.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. So, yes. So,
we've all said that we just wish that we could pay to see that surveillance, like the camera. Could you imagine what her coming out in that parking lot?
No.
We should try to contact that lady and see if she could pull it. Really and truly in the beginning, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I cannot believe. She was very mad. She told me. Like she was not happy, and I even told her, I said, you guys will laugh about it, and just
and we did.
And I told Dad that same thing, and he said, well, I'm not laughing about it today. But but now you guys are laughing.
Now
about
we're
it.
laughing about it. Now we're laughing about it. So that was our funny moment. First time for everything. First time as an adult being left at a gas station.
Were you like yelling in the parking lot?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I was trying to wave my hands, but by that point, when I saw him getting on the highway, I knew he thought he thought I was in the back.
Well, yeah, he's not purposely.
Yeah,
leaving.
I knew he purposely didn't leave me. So at that point, I knew he thought I was in the back, and I said, yeah, he totally missed that I was going in. He totally missed seeing me get out, walk in, get a cup. I don't know. That whole conversation was completely missed.
And anyone that knows Dad knows that he can get like laser vision. So in that moment, he was only worried about getting gas, and that was it.
You are correct. You are correct. So, all right, let's move on. All right, so gearing up for Christmas. How many's ready for Christmas? Chrissy, are you ready for Christmas?
Mostly.
Doug, are you and Alicia ready for Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
We are.
All right.
I got wrapping to do, I guess. But.
Oh, yeah, you do. Any comments coming in, Doug, that we can address or ask? Anybody got any comments? Anybody got any questions for us? Let's do this. Let's do a kind of a Q&A towards ourselves. Christy, can you read it?
It was Farron.
Hi, Farron. This is something I feel like Zach would do. Farron, I'm telling you, it was afterwards. I've literally laughed myself to where tears were literally coming down my face, because it was hilarious at the time. And you thought it was hilarious because you guys were still in Florida, and you're showing people the text message, like, this is like, look at this text message, because your best friend and her husband went but anyway. So, all right, Chrissy, real quick, I want to ask you, what's the number one business question that you get asked? Because you do business coaching as well.
Why don't you first introduce yourself? Because I shared it to different groups and stuff, so there may be people that don't know anything about us, you.
Yeah. Sorry, Doug. For those of you who might not know who I am, my name is Micah Race, and
I'm the woman that got left at the gas station.
I'm just the woman who got left at the gas station in Georgia. That's all you need to remember. Yeah. No, my name is Micah Race, and I am a serial entrepreneur. I love helping the small business owner in general. I mean, obviously, I am geared a lot towards women. I love helping small business women. I coach business women, help to grow, scale their business, just several different areas that I do. And I have been business coaching for 3 years, been a serial entrepreneur for almost 25 years. It's insane to think about. And to my right, which would be your left, is my daughter, Christy. You want to say something about yourself? Sum yourself up in just a lump, like what?
I mean, obviously, I help with the business, run the business at this point. I help coach women as well.
Yes, she does. She does a phenomenal job.
Mother. That's my favorite.
Mother of three.
Yeah, that's my favorite job. So.
Well, of course, that's your most rewarding.
Yep.
Those babes.
Yep.
Awesome. And to the left of me, which would be, I believe you're right, is my son, Doug. You want to tell a little bit about yourself?
I don't even know how to. Anytime anybody asks me what I do for a living or anything, it's so hard to describe because it's multiple categories. Bouncing with you, Oakwood cleaning, doing social media on the side.
Yeah, so you got several things that you do. I also that you said that because I was actually on a Zoom call yesterday with a business owner, and we were diving into multiple streams of income. So I am also a huge fan of helping women in particular find multiple streams of income. How can you have multiple streams of income flowing into your household? Because I'm telling you that the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. But actually they think that they got that, which I'm going to bring some biblical aspect into it right now, because, you know, you always hear that, but actually that's actually biblical. But the Bible says 7, yea, I would say 8. So I believe that having multiple streams of income flowing into your household will secure many, many things in your life. So I teach that as well. How do you have multiple streams of income? How can you be creative? How can you, double? Maybe you have 4, and how can you double those 4? That equals 8. So I love teaching business owners or just entrepreneurs in general how to have multiple streams of income as well. Mm-hmm. So many things, but you do many things. Keeping up with me is one.
Mm-hmm. Like this.
Yeah. I so I asked him, I said, hey, I think it would be awesome if we could stream our podcast live on Facebook and still do the podcast. Obviously this will be uploaded on our YouTube channel and all the things. And that was just here recently, and you made it happen.
Yeah. But the thing of it is 9:30 at night. I was just testing it. Like I had just got it on, and then, let's do it for 10 o'clock tomorrow.
You should have already known that.
I tell you, like you summed it up best. And I think I'm going to make some type of quote with that. You said it best when one of my clients, this was years ago, he said, Mike, it would take a tornado to keep up with you. And you said at that time it was a tornado, but you have upgraded to a hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
So I love that.
10 more years when we had a tsunami or something crazy.
I tell you, well, I'm so driven. I'm so passionate. Many different things in my life I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about entrepreneurship. I'm passionate about ministry. I'm a very, very passionate individual. There's a fire down inside of me. And the fire is it's getting much bigger as the years roll on. And y'all both know that. So, all right. What do we want to talk about?
You were asking Christy something before
to sum herself up.
I love that because it threw you off, me asking you a question, kind of.
What'd you ask me?
To describe yourself and stuff for people that.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, but it threw you off because you're not used to that.
I'm not used to, but see, anybody that, even in my coaching groups, I have several coaching groups. I have a cleaning business coaching group that I have, I believe, 60 something business owners in that. I have an advanced coaching group. I love being put in the hot seat. It doesn't stress me out. Like, bring it. Mm-hmm. Bring it. It does. Some people have anxiety about it. I know you do not like being put in the hot seat.
No, not at all.
But
so when you just asked me to, like sum yourself up. And for some reason, like for some people, it's so easy. Like I could sum you up. I could sum Douglas up. Alicia, like other people you see so much in, but then sometimes when you're trying to describe yourself, it's like, like you just shrink back a lot. Like to where you just
I could sum you up really. I could sum you up. You bring balance. You bring balance to situations. You're a very loyal individual. You have a very a business sense that business you can when you coach business owners, you bring that business sense side of it also, but with the life balance in it. Mm-hmm. So you bring that. I could sum you up because we are almost the same individual. We have a lot of the same traits, a lot of the same character. Like our character is a little the same. So I could sum you up pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want me to say it. No. So this, obviously, if you go back and watch any of our podcasts, we base it on business, life, ministry, all the things. Today was just kind of more of a fun podcast. I wanted to just kind of break the ice, open it up, just to kind of look inside of our family, what we're about, and to give also if anybody is in the Columbus, Ohio area, if you're in driving distance of the Columbus, Ohio area, January 29th, we are going to be hosting our first Life Made For. Let me say that again, because we are live. Let me say that again. Life Made Full tour. We are going on tour next year. We got several dates already on the calendar. January 29th, Saturday, January 29th, it will be the first stop of Life Made Full on tour. So I will obviously be speaking. Christy will be speaking.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Does that give you anxiety?
No, because I have time to prepare. Like I know going into it. Now, if we got there and you're like, I want you to say something, now that's when I would,
Like a deer with
caught
in the headlights.
It wouldn't be good.
So I'm sure you'll say something, but you're going to be all the behind the scenes making everything happen for us. So so if you're in the Columbus, Ohio area, anywhere driving distance, I know people's already reached out to me. Some are in Michigan. They're going to be driving to it. So we're going to be announcing as far as the time and all of that. This week, we're actually going to do a promo video on it.
Yeah, and then I'll have a sign-up link and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And obviously, we will have to have it. And when I tell you we're hosting it. So we are not, this event is 100% on us. It's our gift to you to start the new year out fresh, with clarity, a mindset that's geared in the right direction. So, yeah, we're pretty excited about that. Life Made Full on tour 22. So, all right, what else? What else we got? Anything? You say it's okay to have dead space, just dead noise, I should say it. But see, I'm not used to that.
Yeah, you don't like it.
I'm not.
You panic if there's
That's
silence.
the one. It's usually they say when the brain starts to fire is when it goes into panic mode. So when you have that kind of dead silence, that's when you'll get some of the best answers. You just kind of how can I have an answer unless you ask me something? I got to be asked something to get an answer. All right. So I asked you, Christy, what was, we opened it up after I told the funny story. Mm-hmm. What is the number one thing that business owners ask you? Did you answer that?
No, I didn't.
No.
Yeah. Let's go back to that. See, you were right on that, Dallas, just for a split second. Having some just
a down moment in your
down
head.
moment. Go ahead. Yes.
Well, typically the people that I work with a lot is people that's also has worked with you. So I feel like that a lot of the time, just being our dynamic with our business, that's typically what people are looking for. They like to know our dynamics and what I do and what you do and different things like that. So I'd say the biggest thing is about employees, like keeping employees, how to keep them happy, and then company culture. Like that's my number one questions that I get asked, because that's the area that I've really worked in our company with.
Exactly. Building the company culture, dealing with employees, especially with where we're at today.
Yeah.
That's good. And so when you give them answers, how do you, let me ask you this. How do you digest when you don't give them exactly what they want to hear? Because that does happen.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my whole thing, which I know, I think we've talked about it briefly on a podcast before, but my whole thing is just honestly just treating people how I would want to be treated. And then, you do have those business owners that they don't want to hear that.
Yes.
I mean,
very
they
true.
just don't. They want to be, no, they're my employee. I'm paying them for this, so basically what I say goes. And there is to a degree a certain point of that of course, we obviously, like, I have to direct our employees but you also have to make sure that they have a sense of that you actually care about them and you care about their situation, and you just have to take time for that to build up that relationship. So to answer that, I mean, because I've dealt with people that they don't receive it, and if they don't receive it, then you can't really help them.
Yes. And that's true. And I'm sure that's hard. I've encountered that to where when you are trying to help a business owner and they don't receive what you're telling them, even though you know that it will work if they apply it.
Yeah.
And that it's hard. It's difficult. It's difficult, navigating through that. And because they're not going to see the best results because it's not monetary. It's not monetary at that point. You want that business owner to see the best results.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I have had several business owners that I have worked with over the years that have applied literally every single step that, whether they've worked with you, whether they've worked with me, they have applied every to the T. I have one business owner, and I don't know if I've ever shared this. I have one business owner that I've been to her business. You've been there every time. We've been to their business several times. We could walk into their business tomorrow and run it.
Yeah.
Because they have everything that we have taught, they have applied. And they're crossing over the $500,000 mark this year, or they already have. They already have crossed over that $500,000 mark, which for our industry, I'm telling you, to get to a $500,000, that $500,000 benchmark, that's not an easy task. It's a very, very difficult climb to the $500,000 mark. So having the business owners receive your knowledge and apply it. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. And sometimes, it's not uncomfortable, or it's uncomfortable. That's what happens. Change is always hard. Change is difficult. People do not want to change. And what happens is we will go back to what's familiar. And that's just in life and all the way around. Like, we will go back to what's familiar, because whenever we're stretching, whenever we're coming out of this comfort zone, it hurts. It hurts. And so as human, as human beings, we would just want to go back. Oh, I know I'm going to go back to where it's comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. But where we're comfortable, we're not going to grow. We're not going to grow there. We have to get out of that in order to grow. So.
Yep.
What?
Just letting you think. No. All right. So what would you say? You've never per se like had somebody that was go by a coach, right? I mean, I guess you kind of have, but you've always had people that you've leaned on that were essentially coaches throughout, growing your career, right? Like, you've always had different business owners that you would talk to, like in your early stages, right?
Yeah, I'm not following you. Make yourself a little bit more plain.
I'm just saying, like, how would you say the importance of that? Like,
having a mentor?
A mentor, a coach, somebody that's been there, done that.
Absolutely. I think it's vital. Whether, let's just say, for example,
what I was meaning, I don't mean to interrupt, but I guess what I was meaning is, like, put yourself back in your shoes and why you needed that, like, and, kind of. Absolutely.
Early on in my career, I did not, and again, not for the sake of like saying this on repeat, but we don't have, or I didn't have what we have today. We just didn't have that ability. We didn't have the ability to just turn on and listen to somebody, or like this, like turning on Facebook and listening to somebody like talk about business. If I would have had that, it would have been much different. So the ones that I did lean on were actual like people, like physical people. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I was meaning. They
Yes.
weren't necessarily labeled a coach, but they
Yes,
were
yes.
a coach to you. And
Yes, they were. They were a mentor. And I understood early on that if I wanted to get somewhere, whether that was financially, business, spiritual, wherever it was, then I needed to find somebody that was a couple of steps ahead of me, because that's what it's about. You want to find somebody that is a couple of steps ahead of you. And so let's just say, for example, a financial person, right? I mean, that was my uncle. And if he ever goes back and watches it, he knows this. I've told him, he has sent me things. I've asked him his advice many times. You know who I'm talking about. When I'm around him, I would be a sponge. Like he probably didn't even realize how much I was listening to him and how much I admired his wisdom. But I did. I was a sponge. I have this gold mine in front of me. Like I'm going to listen to him. And I think that's where people get tripped up, is when you realize that you have somebody of value in front of you. Listen to them. Listen.
he was a CFO of a major.
Yes,
major
he was a
company.
CFO. It's my Uncle Chuck. It was my Uncle Chuck. And he may never realize, although I've told him many, many, many times, that how much I listened to him. Anything he would have said, I would do. And that is 100% a fact. I would do it because I knew he was ahead of me, and I knew I wanted to be where he was at. Does that make sense? So that was financial. Spiritual, let's go back to this. Everything in life, we can find the foundation of it in Scripture. We really can. The Bible talks about, in the multitude of counsel, there's safety. So if we want to put that into everyday language, have yourself a cabinet of advisors that you can pull into and glean from. Like in situations that you have a financial person, you have a business person, you have a spiritual person that you can ask, hey, what is your advice in this situation? Like, this is above me. I know you've already been there. Help me. Because if you can find somebody that is just a couple of steps ahead of you, the value in that will save you're going to save yourself mistakes, and you're going to save yourself heartaches. Although we're not going to bypass all the mistakes in life. We're not going to do that. There's no way out of that. But we can bypass many of them by having people in your life, coaches, mentors, that you can lean on. So did I answer that?
Yeah.
It's very important. Even to this day, I still have people.
And then you even had a business owner, and it was obviously we were in the cleaning industry.
Yes.
Well, still are, but at that time, that was probably about maybe a little ahead or at the same level. So then you guys could share also the same struggles together. So you had something to lean on that,
Yes. Not sure who you're talking about, but are you talking about the one that's right in our area?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Her name's actually Rebecca.
Yeah.
It was her name was Rebecca. We would actually go to lunch with one another. We were not competitors. She was I just talked to her the other day. She had called and was sharing some information with me, and then I was able to share some information with her that she wasn't aware of. By the way, let me say this real quick for the sake of, if there are business owners that's going to be watching this, the ERTC, Employee Retention Tax Credit, ERTC, that was rolled out in 2020. A lot of business owners did not know about this. This is completely separate from the PPP, completely rolled out separately. But a lot of the business owners did not realize that this was under the CARES Act and what that is. So brief summary. Go back and check 2020. You had to be down 50% of your sales in order to qualify for this ERTC. But 2021, they changed it to where you only had to be down 20% of any quarter in 2019. So say, for example, you were down 20% in 2020 from any quarter in 2019, then that quarter would qualify, and you can get up to $17,000 per employee per quarter. That's a big deal for some business owners because business owners have suffered. Now, 2020, we suffered from shutdowns, all the things. We won't even go into that because I'm pretty passionate about that as well. The small business owners suffered tremendously. Some have not bounced back from that, and now they're facing an employee crisis. So they can't grow, right? They can't grow. We're in business to grow. And if you're in the service industry, now if you're online, you probably are not feeling anything if you're running, complete business online boutiques, all those things. But if you're in the service industry, you might be feeling that suffocation from this employee crisis that everyone's facing. So 2020, we had lockdowns, shutdowns. 2021, it's now the employees. So go back, check, and see if you do qualify. I know business owners that did not know about it and they did qualify, they're getting thousands of dollars back. So check into it. It's worth it. If you don't qualify, okay. If you do, great. It's just a tip that I've been literally telling every business owner that I have came in contact with. So that was a whole mouthful. It was good though. How long have we been on here?
No idea. I think about 45 minutes.
Okay. We probably should cut it because we are having camera difficulty as well. That sometimes it shuts off.
Yeah, it just overheats. But
it overheats.
Seems like it's doing all right.
I know. That's a very expensive one too, as well. All right.
It's a known for that particular model of Sony is known for it. So.
Okay. So January 29th, mark your calendar, Saturday, January 29th. If you are anywhere near the Columbus, Ohio area, Life Made Full will be holding our very first conference geared towards entrepreneurship, women of faith, kind of colliding them both together, how that works, how partnering with God in your business is the way to go. People have asked me, well, what if I'm not, I had somebody ask me yesterday, well, what if I'm not really super religious? Would this still be a conference for me? I answered 100%. It would definitely be a conference for you. So if you're anywhere, message us on Life Made Full. But we'll be putting more detail up to where you can reserve a ticket because we will have to cap those tickets out as well. So any last thoughts?
I don't think so.
Any last thoughts, Doug?
No.
Make this a Christmas to remember. Wasn't trying to be all whatever, but make this a Christmas to remember. Remember that family is most important. It's not about the gifts, as many of you already know that. It's not about the gifts. It's about being together as a family. We are getting, usually we cook, but we started a new thing. We're going to get Chinese. Malachi runs and gets the Chinese. Did you know that? We're getting Chinese.
Of course I didn't. I don't know why you'd even ask me if I knew that.
We got it last year.
We got it last year. Don't you remember?
No.
Yes.
I don't remember.
But I will tell you this, your dad's not, he's not a big Chinese food eater. And so he's like, well, can we get something today, order cater food today? So we're going to order Olive Garden today, catered. And then I'm going to go pick it up later. And then
just reheat it.
Oh, or actually, no, we're going to pick it up tomorrow. Sorry, tomorrow. And then reheat it for Saturday for him. So, so we're starting a new tradition. Gather around your family table, make memories, You never know. You never know. Somebody might be missing. And if you do have a loved one missing this year, our hearts go out to you. I know that's probably not easy, but make this Christmas a Christmas to remember by making memories. Memories will last a lifetime. Presents will be gone next week, next month.
Yep.
But
Especially
memories
kids buried in a toy box.
yeah. But memories will last a lifetime. So until the next podcast, we will see everyone. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.